It's among the most memorable car models in history. More than 21 million were built over 65 years, and Karyn Randlett and Owen McDonnell of Southbury, Connecticut are both lifelong lovers of the Volkswagen Beetle. They own a 1974 Super Beetle convertible that was purchased in spring 2022 after an extensive search. McDonnell had two requirements that needed to be met.
His only requirement was the color and that it had to be a convertible with a black top. I hit the internet and went crazy for months and months looking for his color and the top.
That's because he'd had one in his younger days.
I was driving a Chevy Bel Air that had all kinds of problems, and my sister worked for Worldwide Volkswagen. She said she would get me one, and the first one I got was a 1961 red Volkswagen convertible that I had for a number of years. And the first place I drove it really was to Camp Pendleton, California, because I was a young lieutenant in the Marine Corps.
To say McDonnell is a Volkswagen enthusiast would be an understatement. He's owned numerous VW models over the years.
And subsequent to that, I've had two vans, squarebacks, other Super Beetles, a number of them. And I just longed to have one again in my garage. And Karyn and I found this beauty right here in Waterbury and purchased it and just love it.
Randlett has likewise loved VWs her entire life. Her grandfather had a Beetle when she was a kid.
The first memory I have of it was helping him install seat belts when I was 5 years old in 1970. My first car at 16 was a 1972 Super Beetle, orange, so it kind of matched my hair. I had that for a few years. Then I went on to a triple white Rabbit convertible in 87. And after that, I had what was called the new Beetle, which was the 1999. When that Beetle turned 21 years old, I sold her to a young kid. And then we moved on to this one.
McDonnell enjoys the Super Beetle because it reminds him of his first one and because of its mechanical simplicity.
And I think this was most manifest to me when I went to a local auto repair shop here and said, could you work on my 74 Volkswagen? And he said, does it have a computer? And I said, no. He said, no, we don't do anything that doesn't have a computer.
Randlett and McDonnell have been together for 2 years now, thanks in part to their mutual love of VWs.
When we first started dating, we realized very early on, one of our first conversations, that we were both Volkswagen people.
They also appreciate the reaction the Super Beetle gets wherever they go.
As I drive it around town, as we were parked right here, people will come up and tell you the story of their experience with a Volkswagen.
I have to say, not only is it the cutest little car you ever saw, the joy that it brings people. I remember my initial joy at 5 years old, and the reaction that people have to it is so authentic. There is not a person who would ever frown at it, and I think that's probably what appeals to me the most.
That's Ride Connecticut. I'm Bud Wilkinson, and a reminder, please subscribe to Ride Connecticut's YouTube channel.